chatting to Bismarck Rewane. He is the Chief Executive of Financial Derivatives, and he joins us from London via Skype, and this is to give context to the visit of Mohammed Buhari's visit to the US, and this is barely a month after taking over as president. Bismarck, thank you so much for making the time to join us. What do you suspect is on the agenda between Obama and Buhari? What do both presidents want from each other?
I think there's a lot of commonality of interests. First and foremost, Buhari is an economic patriot, and Obama is trying to reach out to Africa. So there are a lot of common interests, but primarily, one, insurgency, the war against corruption, and providing power and infrastructure. So it's at a very strategic level. Nigeria provides oil, Nigeria provides stability in the western part of Africa, and more than anything else, the whole idea of the insurgency link between Boko Haram and the Al-Qaeda in the Maghreb and ISIS is a real threat to, is a present danger to the rest of the world. The other thing you must note is that America is becoming, the United States is becoming very strategic. China has made massive inroads into the continent in the last 5 years. The United States now wants to, actually wants to match the Chinese by competing with the Chinese in areas of quality, areas of intellectual piracy, attacking intellectual piracy, and actually using the strength of its currency and providing, building institutional support for African countries. So pursuing democracy, pursuing integrity, pursuing transparency is another level of cooperation with Africa.
Bismarck, what is the context for this visit? What is the state of Nigerian-US relations at the moment? And one thinks of the US and South Africa. The US has an expectation that South Africa will play a regional role. It clearly wants the same from Nigeria. What is the foundation for this relationship going into this visit?
First and foremost, the US provides security support for Nigeria and Africa. There's the question of military equipment and military hardware. The US sells aircraft to Nigeria. The US sells wheat to Nigeria. Nigeria is is of strategic interest to the United States. The United States wants peace and democracy to spread across Western Africa. So first and foremost, Nigeria is the biggest economy in Africa. Secondly, it's the biggest democracy. It is going to become a role model for other smaller states where democracy has to be entrenched. And more important is the fact that it is the 8th country in African history where an incumbent has been pushed out by ballot box and by democratic principles. So that it's very, very important for symbolic reasons, also for strategic economic reasons.
Right. As a final question, Bismarck, what should we consider to be a successful trip for Buhari? What are the 1, 2, or 3 things that he should be clinching as part of this visit when he makes his way back to Africa?
To get military support in terms of the sale of Apache helicopters and equipment for the military and training for the military. 2, the identification and return of stolen money. There's huge amount of stolen funds. If the US banking system can cooperate, that serves as a deterrent for further stealing of money, but also to refund money because Nigeria is facing a fiscal crisis. If Nigeria can get some money back, it will help to plug that hole. Thirdly, because the US is the host country of the multilateral agencies, the Washington Consensus, the World Bank, IFC, and the IMF, I think that it will go a long way to have Nigeria have some sympathy and some support from the multilateral agencies. Because this is crunch time for Nigeria. Oil price is down to $56 a barrel. There are lots and lots of things to be done. There's the Boko Haram security. There's the removal of subsidies. There's currency crisis and the external imbalances. There are lots of things to be done. So I think, first and foremost, to get the listening ears of America, to get the support of the United States, and to get the leaning of the World Bank and the Washington Consensus to support Nigeria in its effort as it tries to make the necessary adjustments.
That's Bismarck Rewane, CEO of Financial Derivatives.